Hello student, how are you? And I welcome you once again to my class. And I'm going to continue this topic with you, tenses, which I already had started in my first part of the video, and today is the second part of the video. Though it is a very long, there are so many parts will be there. Okay, but one thing, please make sure whatever tenses I'm going to teach you, try to understand in a very nice manner, children, and then you will see that very soon you will be writing correct English. Okay, so please pay attention here. And yesterday I told you what is a tense. All right, tense is a, what did I tell you about a tense? Tense, I told you, was the time of an action, time of an action, and degree of completeness, is tenses. All right, so let me revise you, children. What is the tenses? That means children, tense is actually told by the word verbs in a sentence. It is through verb in a sentences that we know about tenses. Okay, also a student, children, that time of an action, what is a tense? It is a time of an action. Children, time means what? That means the work done in present time. Okay, the work which is we are doing now, that is the present time. The action or the work done is present time. The work which we will be doing in the future is the, okay, the verbs which tell the things which we done in the future, that is the tenses of, that is the future tense. And children, the work which is already completed, the work which is already finished, is present tense. Okay, so this is the time of an action. And what about degree of completeness, children? Yesterday I gave you 4 example, 4 sub parts of present tense. What was those? If you have remember, I think if you remember those, so once again I think I will tell you. Like first was simple present tense. Okay, simple present tense, the other name for simple present tense is present indefinite, then present continuous, then present perfect, and the last was present perfect continuous tense. Now children, what is the degree of completeness of an action? So what is the degree, children? Degree of completeness of an action is, suppose if a verb we have taken and that verb is right. Okay, so in present simple present tense we can write he writes, she writes, I write, they write, you write. Okay, that means children, we have taken lot of subjects. We have taken lot of subjects. Subject is here I, we, they, you. These are the subject. Okay, what is the subject? I think I've told you, noun or pronoun which comes before the verb is a subject. So I, we, you, he, they, it, any name, they are the subject in a sentence. And children, degree of completeness of an action means, that means children, suppose if we have taken the first form of the present tense, that is simple present tense. Okay, so here let me give you the example by taking the verb write. So suppose if I give you the example, I write, you write, they write, we write, she write, he writes. So children, through this we come to know only one thing, that an action has been done. Okay, but we don't know whether the action was completed or not completed. We don't know anything about that, about the completeness of an action. Only we come to know through this that an action has there, and what is that action? It is right. Okay, then children, present continuous tense means that in the present time a verb is continued at the time of speaking. Present perfect, the work is finished or going to finish. Present perfect continuous, the work which has started in future, and children, it will be continuing in the future only. The work which had started in the past, or sorry, not in the future, I told you, I am telling you once again, please listen to me children. The work which started in the past and will continue in the future, that is this present uh, continuous, what was the tense I told you? Present perfect continuous tense. Okay, so this is the tenses which I have already told you. So 4 tenses are there. What are those? Present indefinite, present continuous, present perfect continuous tense. Similarly, in the past tense we have 4 tenses: simple past, past continuous, past perfect, past uh, perfect continuous tense. Okay, then similarly we have the same thing in the future tense: future continuous, simple future, future continuous, future perfect, and what else children? Future perfect continuous tense. So children, now I have discussed with you, I have revised with you degree of completeness of an action, and children, time of an action I have already told you. So once again I have revised you that what is it as mean, and now children I am going to teach you individual tenses, separate tenses, and the first tense is simple present tense. First tense is student simple present tense. Okay, so children, simple present tense student, first of all you have to, I will be telling you about 2 things in simple present tense. One is children, one is the uses of simple present tense, and second children, sentence structure. Children, when I will be teaching you tenses, the 4 different tenses, okay, of present, past and future, you have to learn 2 things of each tense, that is the uses of like just now I'm going to start with the simple present tense. So I will be teaching you the uses of simple present tense, and of course the sentence structure. Both things you have to learn, both things you have to note it down in your copy children, when I will be teaching you on the board. And children, that if you will not learn, then the doubts will not be, please clear your doubts in the online classes while teaching. And children, you have to listen, you in fact you can make notes while when I'm teaching you, when I'm giving you some important tips, try to make notes of those tips which I am giving you. Okay, second thing children, please try to understand, both are very important. Simple present tense, how, where it is used, okay, in what form it is used, in what sense they are used. And children, second, of course you cannot deny that you have to learn this also, you cannot refuse that, you have to learn sentence structure, that is also very very important. Okay, so student, now I am going to start with simple present tense and the uses of simple present tense. Okay, and then we will be doing with the sentence structure. And one more thing children, you have to learn, when I will be, I have started teaching tenses, you have to do me a favor, that you have to learn all the verb forms, all the verb forms, whatever maximum verb form which you can learn, you please learn it. Otherwise you will be wrong in framing the sentences. So children, first of all, I will be telling you about the uses of simple present tense. Or yes children, first uses is that simple present tense is used when there is a habitual action. Simple present tense is used when there is a habitual action. Okay, like children, my grandfather goes for a morning walk. Okay, so what is the verb here children? Here verb is goes. All right, here verb is goes. And children, through verb we know that which action has been done and what time. So goes, you can see it is not, the action is not done in the past tense, in the past time, and the action is not done in the future. So children, goes is a verb which tell you that action is done in the present tense. And children, also it tells that action is not completed or completed. We don't know anything about that action. So what is the sentence here? My grandfather goes for a morning walk. So the action is my grandfather goes for a morning walk. So children, goes is a goes, this verb. Okay, first of all, through this verb we come to know few important things, that it is in present tense. And children, goes is telling that we don't know that whether the work is completed or it is still continue, but simply we know that one action has been done, and that is his grandfather goes daily early in the morning. So when there is a habitual action children in the present tense, then we use which tense? Simple present tense. Then we use simple present tense. Okay, whenever there is a habitual action. Habitual action, student children, what is that habitual action? Habitual action is like he drinks coffee when he gets up in the morning. So drinking, children, drinking is a verb which shows that one action has been done in the present tense. Okay, and that action is showing, is proving that it is an habitual action. So here drink is a, will be in simple present tense. Okay, I get up daily at 4:30. I get up daily at 4:30. So children, get up again is a verb. We don't know that is, which shows that it is an habitual action. Okay, so whenever there is a habitual action, remember student, first point of the uses is that whenever we have habitual action in the present tense, then that will come under the category of simple present tense or simple or present indefinite tense. Okay, so first is whenever there is a habitual action. Children, second, when we express general truth or scientific principle or some fact. So children, when do we use this simple present tense? When do we use next? When we have to express some scientific facts, when we have to express some simple then some scientific facts or some historical facts, students. Okay, or some universal or general truth. What is the general truth that I will be telling you? Just like rose smells sweet. Rose smells sweet. This is a general fact also. Okay, and this is a universal fact also. And you can say this word is not in past tense, this is in present tense. So when present tense, when there is a general truth or universal truth is there, then that will come in simple present tense. Okay, so these two example have done. Like the earth revolves around the sun. The earth revolves around the sun. It is a general truth, student. It is a general truth. Okay. Now children, to introduce quotations. To introduce quotation. Keats says, Keats was a poet. Keats was a poet in English literature, John Keats, and he says, a thing of beauty is a joy forever. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Now children, we will write this sentence as children, Keats says, a thing of beauty is a joy forever. Okay, a thing of beauty is a joy forever. So student, I was telling you that a thing of beauty. Now you can see that Keats, children, here you can see here, Keats is a poet who died long back. So here which verb should have been here? Said. Okay, but we are not writing said here. What we are writing says here. So children, when somebody says quotation, okay, or the thought, like this is a nice quotation, think of beauty is a joy forever. When there is a flower show, that many people like to have this as their quotation written and pasted on the table, kept on the table somewhere. Okay, whenever there is a flower arrangement show, you can see nice quotation is there all over where the pots are kept. Okay, so here children, John Keats said, it should be here said, but since it is a rule that in simple present tense, children, this is simple present tense. Say is simple present tense. When children somebody quotation or thought whether that person has died long back, we will never write said, we will write here say. We will write here say. This shows that the student what? That this say is in simple present tense. Okay. So children, this is the now in commentary, I think many times children in commentary, like whenever there is a matches, we are all interested to hear commentary, a nice way they can say commentary. So in commentary also what do we use? We use simple present tense. Like Saurabh catches the ball and he runs up to the ball. Okay, all this blah blah blah. Whenever children you will write in which sentence? You will write in simple present tense. So whenever children there is a quotation and when there is a commentary, so all this should be written in simple present tense. Of course, we cannot forget that the most important simple present is used when we express habitual action and or we express scientific facts or universal facts or historical facts. Okay, so children, I have completed the uses of simple present tense, and now children, the difficult part is that I have to teach you about the sentence structure. Okay, this you have to note it down, this you have to understand, but before explaining sentence structure, I will be telling you some important things. Okay children, I will be telling you some important things like please read the sentence. And children, here this is verb, this is noun, this is also a noun. Yesterday I have given the same example, I think. So children, you can see John takes a ball. Okay. Now children, here first of all you have to see what is a verb here. So verb here is cakes. And then children, you have to see two things. You have to see that either noun or pronoun, okay, is there which comes before the verb. Noun or pronoun which comes before the verb is known as object. And noun and pronoun which comes after the verb is known as, no student, this is subject. And this is object. This is very important. If you will not know this, you won't be able to understand the structure part in a sentence. Okay. So children, what I mean to say, you have to, this is the basic of English grammar. Some basic tips I will be giving you so that you will be able to understand your lesson well. So John kicks a ball. Alright. Children, here John kicks a ball. John is here a noun. And verb is here kicks. As you can see, verb is here kick and ball. Okay. Ball again is a noun, so this is an object. So noun or pronoun which come before the verb, that is known as subject. Noun or pronoun which comes after the verb is known as object. So this children you don't have to forget, because many times if I will be teaching you the sentence structure, you will be knowing, you have to know about all this thing. Okay. So once again I repeat that noun or pronoun which comes before the verb, that is a subject. Noun or pronoun which comes after the verb, that is an object. Right? So now I will be telling you about the sentence structure of simple present tense. Okay. So children, in sentence structure we have to take all the three parts. Okay. We have to take all the three parts in sentence structure. Like children, first structure is positive, or that means of the statement. Second is of negative sentence. Third is of interrogative. So this children you have to see. Now you have to write the formula. So sentence structure. Now here you have to make notes children. You have to write it in your copies, otherwise you will forget. Right? So sentence structure of a simple present tense. And children, what is there in the statement form, that is in the affirmative. What is affirmative sentence? That is positive sentence. So what is the formula? You have to learn children this formula. The formula is subject first form the verb subject first form the verb and object. Okay, subject first form the verb and object. Now children, I told you just now what is a subject. Okay. Then children, in simple present tense, please remember only the first form of the verb will come. What is first form of the verb? I am giving you example like go, went, gone. This is V1, this is V2 and this is V3. Okay. Go, went, gone. V1, V2 and V3. Gone is V3, went is V2 and go is V1. So children, in simple present tense we always use first form of the verb. Right? Now children, make a sentence. Children, if you will read this sentence, what you will read? Ravi writes a letter. So Ravi is a subject. What is a subject? Subject is that noun or pronoun which come before the verb, that is a subject. So Ravi writes. Write is V1 and letter is object, because this noun is coming after the verb, so this is an object. So now you understood that how subject and object is important here and why I make you understand this. Okay. Now children, one other rule is there, writes. Okay. You can see children, it is not written here write, it is written here writes. So children, in simple present tense, when subject is in the third person singular. Yesterday I told you third person singular, what is first person, second person and third person. Once again I will write you because that is also very important. What is the first person, what is the second person and what is a third person. Okay. So when the third person singular is there and when the first form is there, then children we use s or es with the verb. I mean to say children, whenever there will be in the subject. Okay. If in the subject children, whenever the subject will be there, okay, and that subject will be the subject of third person singular, then children with verb will be used the first form of the verb, but then s or es will be there only if the subject is the subject of the that is first third person singular. Okay. Now I will tell you once again, I will write you and tell you that what I wanted to say. I mean to say children, yesterday I taught you something in my first part of the video. I taught you first person, second person, third person. Once again I write you, otherwise you won't be able to understand. Children, we have having for three persons we are having. First is first person, then second person and then third person. First person, second person and third person is there. Children, here you have to mug up this thing, singular and plural. So here I, we, you, your, then he, she, it, names and any singular thing. here. Okay, children. He, she, it names and any singular thing. So, children, you can see here I am talking about third person singular. When third person singular is there, this is singular. Please pay attention. This is plural. So when this until this is known as, this act as a subject. These are the things which act as a subject in the sentence. So if a subject is third person singular, then with the verb s or es will come. So now children, the rest of the thing I am going to explain in the third part of the video, and just revise it, just watch my video. Thank you and have a nice day once again. I say and I conclude my teaching here. Tomorrow I will be explaining about the sentence structure of simple present tense, and I will be telling you about the negative sentences, and I will start with the interrogative sentence. So with this I conclude my video here.